Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you all for joining His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaja's daily class. Today we are continuing with Srimad Bhagavatam series of first canto, chapter 17, Punishment and Reward of Kali. Today's verse is 4. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for your association for all of us. You can please take over, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, my obeisances to all of the devotees. Vanchakalpatarubhascha, Vipasindope Vachapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Prapancha Ratnam Arudham Kartaswara Parichadham Mega Gambhiraya Vacha Samaropita Karmukaha. Translation. Maharaj Parikshit, well equipped with arrows and bows, seated on a gold-embossed chariot, spoke to him, the Sudra, with a deep voice sounding like thunder. Purport. An administrative head or king like Maharaj Parikshit, with full majestic authority, well equipped with weapons to chastise miscreants, can challenge the agents of the age of Kali. Then only will it be possible to counteract the degraded age. In the absence of such strong executive heads, there is always disruption of tranquility. The elected Shobhara executive head, as representative of the degraded public, cannot be equal with a strong king like Maharaj Parikshit. The dress or style of royal order does not count. It's one's actions which are counted. Chakshu Innavikamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Imam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve. Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Paskyatvade Sitarne. Vanchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaja Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There's a saying which is quite popular in the world. Your actions speak so loud, I can't hear what you're saying. So this kind of illustrates a point in this verse, that leadership is not just nice words and a bunch of promises that is never kept, a nice profile in form of one's show in public, but what is one's actual accomplishments in the responsibility of the position of an executive head. Here, there are two things. One, the executive head, as it's mentioned in the Vedas, which is the foundation for one can understand what is normal within society, or what is not only normal, but what is preferred. And that is the executive head has the mood that his kingdom, the residents of the kingdom, are treated like his children, just like a father always treats the children in the best possible way for the benefit of the children. So the executive head must have that mood in order to facilitate the success of his position. If he's there just because of elected votes or because of some party program, then he's somewhat aloof from the needs of the people, and he's more interested in keeping his position and propagating a certain principles that allow for certain people who he considers to be connected with him to flourish. Usually that flourishing is in the economic area. That's not a leader, and that's not a king. And today, the age of Kali has created so many such so-called leaders that no one is satisfied with the leadership in the world, nor do they have any program to change it either. They make programs, but the program is someone else comes from the same cartel as the present leader, and he's no better than the previous one. He may do things differently, but no one benefits. So, therefore, there is always disruption in tranquility. In other words, no one ever has peace into society. The leaders are always enacting programs in order to facilitate a certain interest group within their kingdom or in their order. Just like, to give you a practical example that happened just recently, within the last 2 years, the leader of one very prominent country was giving big payments to a very small cartel of very rich people and not representing the other people by giving them so many taxes. That leader, it was a woman, actually, and she lasted 44 days, and then she was removed. Somehow they removed her. I think you know who I'm talking about. Those of you who are here online, who are from that country, you know what I'm talking about. So that's an example of how the things go on in Kali Yuga with such leadership. No one's qualified to lead. And they all lead by party interest or personal interest, and not for the interest of the people. Although they speak very nicely sometimes. And they may dole out some benefits every once in a while to make them think, people think that they actually care. But it's just piecemeal, it's just tokenism in order to somehow pacify people through in a situation. But as it says in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto, that the leadership in Kali Yuga will become so much pilfering and squeezing the people for taxes, and at the same time not be able to give them protection or the needs that they need in order to live, that people will become so harassed that they'll leave their hearth and home and go into the forest just to escape such rule. That's mentioned, and it's also starting to happen presently in this present age of Kali. So one has to lead by action, not by words, and that action has to be in line with one's duty in response to their position. So here we see Maharaj Parikshit. He's not a show Bible leader. He actually cares about the welfare of the people. And anything that disturbs the natural peace within society, as we have here in this example of this sutra, he's ready to take action and punish such miscreants. Nowadays, even the miscreants in this society, if they do something wrong, many of them are big people who have money. So rather than go to court or go to jail, they pay off somebody and then they continue on. I remember when I was preaching in one country, in Europe, I was preaching in a jail. And the day before I got there, one of the public leaders was thrown into that same jail. He was preaching. There was also a lady. I was preaching in a woman's jail, and she was there. She actually came to my lecture. It was interesting. And she didn't speak at all. She just listened to what I said, which was appreciated by me and by others who also. She developed a following in jail. And when I inquired about her after I had left that day, she didn't stay in jail more than a few days, and she was back out again. So this is how they do it. They have money, and so they pay their way out after creating some problems within this society. And so no one's happy. And Prabhupada said, because of that, everyone is harassed in today's society. And this is the quality of the age of Kali. But a person like Maharaj Parikshit is very rare to find, especially in this age of Kali that's practically non-existing, where they actually are understanding what it means to lead people. That persons are called progeny. It's like children are called progeny. People in the kingdom are also called the progeny also of the king. And therefore, it's a very great and very honorable situation that one gets the position of such leadership. And that leadership must be in representative of the Supreme Personality of God. In other words, they have to lead not only by expert material arrangements, but they also have to guide people in a spiritual way too. Srila Prabhupada speaks about that. He says the leaders must see that everyone in the kingdom is following some form of spiritual practice. Atheism is not allowed in a righteous kingdom. Such persons are considered to be punished because of that, because they have no standing. Atheism is another word for atheism is foolishness. There is so much obvious proof that there is a personality or a force, even if they say the personality is impersonal, who has created everything, who is maintaining everything, and is also making things move along accordingly. Nothing happens without a person, just like every action is inspired by a person. Even though a machine may do something, there is a person who operates the machine. So in the same way, the leader is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And in those days, in the days of the Vedic culture was prominent. They were called Rajarsis or Rajarishis. Raja means king, and Rishi means one who is spiritually oriented. So these kings were not only just leaders in a material sense, they were also followers of spiritual orders. And they also legislated and pushed that legislation for each and every person within their kingdom to follow some form of spiritual practice. And that's important. Not that they wanted people to be there in their same faith path, but they could be in any faith path as long as they followed an authorized form of faith path. Because without spirituality, human life has not really begun yet. The difference between human life and lower life is a tato brahma jigyasa, that the living entity who can inquire into the purpose of life and also move in that direction to fulfill that. And that is the actual purpose of human life. And therefore, not only does the executive head have the responsibility to lead according to certain administration and judicial procedures, but they must also lead from the position of spirituality also. Because spirituality is the actual content of the living entity's existence. We are spiritual, and everything that is in existence comes from the source of all spirituality, the Supreme Personality of God. So nowadays, the executive heads don't have any, what we say, leader. There may be one or two, just like we saw in India, just in about a month ago. The leader there actually inaugurated a temple, Ram Mandir, and speaks about the qualities of leadership based on spiritual principles. So we have, so India has a leader who is in that category of Rajarsi. Of course, there may be some lacking in certain areas, but at least he is strongly pushing that. Tomorrow is the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It's his 150th anniversary of his appearance in the world. And so there are big ceremonies going on in all spiritual groups, Vedic groups, ISKCON, Gaudiya Math, especially, all around the world, and in other areas also. And a coin, a commemorative coin, was issued by the state of India, or the legislature, to commemorate such important occasion, with a picture of the carving of Bhakti Siddhanta on the coin. So this is real leadership. They glorify those who are in the position of spiritual leadership, the great souls, the Rajarsis, not the Rajarsis, the Rishis, the sadhus, the great saints. Not like nowadays, church and state must be separated. We cannot have both together. They made this thing many years ago that the state and the church was considered to be two distinct entities, and the state has nothing to do with anything spiritual. Yeah, so these are the effects of Kali Yuga. But here, again, back, Maharaj Parikshit, when he saw this miscreant disturbing a cow and a bull, he was ready to really chastise him strongly by killing him. But he gave him a chance before doing that to speak something. But he's putting him. So it's not like, oh, okay, there's some thing in this society, some breaking of the law, and then the police come and the guy's locked up in jail. He gets a lawyer, and then they go on, and the court case goes on for 2-3 years. And sometimes the person, although he's a miscreant, he still doesn't get punished. He buys his way out or has some strong lawyers to get his way out. I remember one of my good friends, I won't mention who it was, he did a business deal with this one person, and the man cheated him very directly and didn't fulfill his part, took the person's money and didn't fulfill. And then when this devotee went to protest, the man was no longer available. But he kept pursuing, trying to find him, And then his lawyers jumped in and said, you know, if you continue, we will take charges against you. So he had a whole group of lawyers that were protecting him as he cheated people one after another. So yeah, this is today's Kali Yuga. You know, it's ruled by dacoits and thieves and people who are always out to foster their own selfish interests. Well, you go on in this particular chapter. Stay with this chapter. It's one of the most important chapters, especially in this first canto, how Maharaj Parikshit deals with this personality here. Okay, we'll stop there.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for the class, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dear devotees, any questions or comments or realizations? Dear devotees, if you have any questions or comments or realizations, you can please go ahead now. And I request to please turn on your cameras. That will be very nice to see all of you. Thank you. Sridevi Mataji, please go ahead. I think we'll wait Maharaj to come back.
Continue with your questions.
Yes, Maharaj. Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, this point about strong leadership and a king like Parikshit Maharaj, even when good people try to do something, the system will not allow them, even if one is a good leader. I remember the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi decided to fight the elections and bring about decent governance in, I think, the native place in Gujarat called Rajkot. But finally, he gave up. He said, the politics is so dirty that I cannot survive over here. And he withdrew, because even though he was a very ethical, very moral, very principled person, just dealing with the people around, he realized he would just become a pawn in their hands and he wouldn't really be able to do anything. So in such a scenario, even if we want to do something good, vested interests do not allow us to do it. So how Krishna conscious leadership can come up?
What's the question? How Krishna consciousness leadership can what?
Come up, like how leadership that is Krishna consciousness can flourish.
Harinam Sankirtan. Take to the streets and do Harinam Sankirtan all around the world. Follow Srila Prabhupada's principles for governing the society. Open up farm communities, live simply. Do not depend so much on the secular society for all of your personal needs. Go out, chant, distribute books. Our force is our protocol, which is given to us by Srila Prabhupada. We are not involved with trying to influence the present society because it's non-influential. Can't do that. Even if we could, we waste time doing that anyway. So we want to change people on the grassroots level through spirituality. Preach, distribute books, Harinam Sankirtan, farm communities, any other programs that go on and bringing people education about what is the goal of life. That's all. We have to push our movement more and more in these areas.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances.
Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, on this question of Mataji, I have a follow-up. So where usually they say that only government is working, the people has to also contribute something to the government to help for the government and do something. So how much we should get involved? Like some people will be very enthusiastic to change the world, or they have some ideas they want to implement. So I want to change my surroundings. I want to change this. So is it really necessary, or is it how we should see Maharaj? Like,
Again, Prabhupada gave us the formula.
Yeah.
He didn't want us to, become part of this society. He wanted to create a society, a microcosm within this society that was contrary to the values and lifestyles of the present economic, political, social, industrial, technological society. Prabhupada's whole formula was like that. And all you do is listen to his lectures, read his books, everything is clearly done, clearly explained. Yeah, if we want to buy into this society, yeah, but Prabhupada, even when devotees said, maybe we should get involved, Prabhupada said, you can't do anything. Even if you can do anything, it's do something, you won't last, you'll be pushed out. So, yeah. Better to create we want the people who are suffering by the results of living in such an exploitive type of society, we want to bring them to a level of consciousness where they can manage their own lives. As soon as you become Krishna conscious, you have more control over your own life, both in the material sense and ultimately you move forward in the spiritual sense. You rise above all of these other problems. Prabhupada's whole program was a society within a society, which will eventually become the society.
Yes.
And that's Lord Chaitanya's prediction. He also gave that prediction. That if we follow that process, Lord Chaitanya will institute this golden era of every town and village. The Lord's in charge, but it requires us to follow him.
So instead of going into their territory, we have to invite them or bring them to our society and follow the process given by Srila Prabhupada.
Teach them to chant Hare Krishna, teach them to live more simply, instead of making money, the most important thing in life. Make spiritual values, community values, family values more important than economic positions. Prabhupada's statement was that the whole society is based on the wrong concept, money. He says money is not a foundation for success. Everything is money, 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 right?
Yes.
You got money, you can do things. If you got money, you can cover your mistakes. If you got money, you can control. Everything is money, 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 money. So everyone's trying to get more. And those who can't get it, they turn into thieves and robbers and others, and they steal from other people. It's like, there's so much crime in the world now, you wouldn't believe it. The crime level is so high.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Just like, for instance, in the UK, those of you, many of you are from the UK. Now, I'll give you a practical example. The government are cutting back on the police force in the UK now. They're cutting back on the police force. Some police stations are actually closing. And so the criminals are taking advantage of that. And even the police that are there are not even responding to the calls of people who are in need of some protection. And robberies in the UK have increased tremendously within the last year. That's a fact. I was just there. I just left there after being there a month. This is an example. The government's broke.
It's very dangerous. Yeah.
They spend their money on padding all of the salaries of the people that are working there, including themselves. They don't do anything for people. They do something. They give some charity here and there. But when it comes to lawlessness, it's everywhere. They can't curb it, or they don't really make the efforts to curb it. I know at least 2 or 3 devotees' houses in the UK have been broken into by thieves. Robbery in the UK is so high,
Krishna. Mhm.
very high. Those of you who lived there, they know, especially in London. Maybe not in the outskirt areas, not so much, but London is just like. So I'm just using that as an example, and that's just one example around the world. There are places in the world where the police don't even go because the criminals have taken over areas. And if the police come in, they get shot by these criminals. I'm serious.
Mhm.
That's in the United States. Because everyone it says, what is it? What's the percentage? I forgot. more than 80% of the population is armed in the United States. They have weapons. In
Yes.
Europe, it's illegal to have guns. But in the United States, you can buy anything. Now you can even buy automatic rifles. And there's a whole militia in the United States who are anti-government, and they're ready to fight if they get too much pressure from the government. The whole world is going through a tremendous turmoil right now, economically, politically, socially, because there's no leadership.
Mm. Yes, Maharaj.
Somehow it carries on, but people are being victimized. Now, this is another thing in the UK now. You can only keep your car for 15 years. If you buy a car, after 15 years, you have to give it up. That's a law.
Oh, why like that, Maharaj?
In India.
That's in India, not in the UK?
India is 10 years.
Really?
Maybe it's 10 years.
10 years, oh, that's in India. In
Oh.
India, 10 years, you have to give up. In UK also?
I don't think in the UK.
No, in the UK, if you have a diesel engine, you have to pay a high percentage of taxes for a diesel engine car. So now people are giving up their diesel cars and they're buying electric cars. This is much more expensive. So the whole world is ruled by crazy people. It's just crazy, And the whole type of lifestyle that we live is not conducive to either material well-being or social progress. I mean, spiritual progress.
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
But these are just small examples of what's going on worldwide. There's much more than that.
Thank you,
People are
Maharaj.
hurt.
Yes.
One fact, are not feeling the pressure. Good people are feeling the pressure of living in the world
Mm.
with such leadership.
Thank you, Maharaj. Silpesh Prabhu, you have a question? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I hope you had a good journey back to India. I wanted to ask, if we try to live a sattvic life based on like honesty, Vaishnava principles, the teachings of Gita, does Krishna help us and protect us from all this external nonsense that's happening in the world?
You can try, but if you become a devotee and you associate with devotees, then it's easy.
Yes.
then it's natural because you got a support system that is just similar to what you're trying to be. But if you try to do it in the secular world, you're always going to be challenged by the association that you're with. Yeah, so forget it. Simply just try to become Krishna conscious. All these good qualities will manifest it by your practice of spiritual life.
If we become a devotee, and become Krishna conscious, then does Krishna keep away that material energy?
Yeah, he's one of the 6 principles which make up the symptom of the devotee who is surrendered to the Lord, as the Lord gives full protection to his devotee. How he gives protection may be different from person to person, but the general principle is the Lord protects his devotee. He protects them by how is it? Anayan chintayan tomanye yujam paratasate teshan nitya bayukta yogashem avahamiyaham. I preserve what you have and I carry what you lack. Krishna says that in the Gita in the 9th chapter. So yeah, and one of the principles by which a devotee lives by is Krishna is my only protector, Krishna is my only maintainer, Krishna is my only provider. We make a little effort to do all of these things, but without the hand of the Lord, nothing is successful.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, any questions or comments?
Examples of that too. How devotees have been protected in the most dire situations, simply by depending on the mercy of the Lord. You have to understand, God is the complete controller and the object of shelter. So when we take shelter of the Lord, he can control everything. So if we're taking shelter of him, just like a person who's done something wrong, but they take shelter of a superior person for protection, that protection, the superior person will give that person protection because he's come to that person for help, for shelter. And Krishna takes care of his devotees. You don't have to worry. All you have to do is try to serve as much as you can and develop your attraction for Krishna more and more.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Yeah. Dear devotees, any more questions or comments? I encourage devotees. You can ask any other question. Yeah, Bhikkhu Prabhuji.
Please accept our humble obeisances, Maharaj, pranams. What you mentioned is disturbing, and I think you have a very good insight into the affairs of the world because you travel so much. In fact, for me, although there was a time I used to be addicted to news, I don't watch it now because it can pollute the mind so much. On one hand, you have some, I think, very few leaders who can, at least to some degree, have a conscience and are God-fearing. But the majority as you rightly say, are ruled by wrong principles, and money is the only motivator, and greed, corruption, you name it. I think there is a lot of spread of Krishna consciousness in the world. Temples are coming up. But in your opinion, Maharaj, do you see any improvement, or will Kali get even worse? And what is the guidance there, Maharaj?
You're talking about the world situation, whether it's going to get more or worse or it's going to improve?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you, Maharaj.
You're asking whether the world situation in general is going to improve or get worse? Is that the question?
Yes. And what is if we are in the midst of all this, what is the guidance to us?
Well, our guidance is our practice of devotional service. Why do we chant the holy name? Holy name is, as Prabhupada said, he said it's the panacea for all ills in life. When you're chanting the holy name, you are free from the influence of the three modes of material nature. As long as you're chanting with attention nicely, or at least trying to chant with attention and devotion. We have the formula, and that's our practice. Read Srila Prabhupada's books. Distribute the books also. Take only Krishna Prasad. Go to the temples, do some service. Engage in worship. Associate with devotees. Make your life more and more involved in the activities of spirituality. Our society is not simply a churchy society where we go once a week, we pay our dues, we smile at everybody we know, and then we go home. That's not our problem. Our program is Prabhupada's program, and we're working to develop it more and more. It's a complete changeover in lifestyle from top to bottom. I'll give you an example of the stupidity of this material world. Please excuse the example. Anyway, it's when COVID hit in 2020, some of the stores were raided by people to get as much things as they could to last through the COVID. One of the first things that ran out was toilet paper. I even seen a cartoon where two people are playing cards, poker, and the stakes are toilet paper rolls. Okay. So even today, they sometimes talk about, if we get to another situation, will there be enough toilet paper? Prabhupada said, you don't need toilet paper. We got water, it works. So here's an example of how people are so lost. They can't even see the fact that there's water and it works. And it saves you money also. And you don't have to go crazy trying to worry about, will I have enough toilet paper? So it became a big thing. I mean, I'm serious. It was in the news too. Get as much toilet paper as you can. And if you don't, life's not the same anymore. So is that ridiculous? Or so this is an example how material society does not know how they're so controlled by this idea of economics. With everything, you need so many things, but devotees don't worry about all of these things. Their need is, can I have enough time for chanting? Can I have enough time to associate with devotees? That's our needs. Do I have a tough time to go to the programs and chant and dance and have an even nice Krishna conscious experience? That's all. I mean, many of you are family members and you have responsibilities, but, you know, we have to learn to live without dependence on the secular world for everything we need. And the artificial items that come on the market, and just like there is a statistic in the United States, of course, there is a thing that's called the patent office. Patent, P-A-T-E-N-T, patent office. A patent office gives sanction to a product to be put on the market. It has to go through that office in order to be a marketable item. And so every week, there's about 200 items that come in front of the patent office for approval. So there's always people creating newer and newer things. And nobody, you know, what do we need to live? We need food. We need shelter. We need, you know, association with others. These are real needs, not so many of these these things that are being put on the markets so people can make money. So much waste and they're raping the earth for all of these materials to make all of these gadgets that nobody needs. Prabhupada used to criticize, you know, electric toothbrushes, you know. Prabhupada didn't even use a toothbrush. They used to give him a eucalyptus twig, and he would brush his teeth with that. It's good for the gums too, and it's actually quite sattvic. They make toothbrushes out of this plastic. Plastic is so contaminated and so dirty, you can't get it clean anyway. You throw your toothbrush away if it's plastic. There's a devotee in the UK who he sells toothbrushes that are made out of bamboo wood. He visits the manor all the time. His name is Ram Lakshman, I think his name is. He's got this supply of wooden, so when you know, it's clean, it's natural, it's wood, it's plastic. Everything is plastic now. Even the money is plastic. It's everywhere. Such a contaminated item. Prabhupada never liked plastic. He said glass, plastic is all polluted, impure. Even glass. Porcelain is different. That's a little cleaner. Metal, proper metals like that, they can be used. Metal utensils like that. We got plastic spoons, paper plates. It's waste. I'm just making these few examples of how society is so misled by the idea of something new, something different. Keep life.
Thank you.
And you'll have time for Krishna consciousness.
I think that helps. Too much consumerism and dependent on kind of use and throw society. I think we are blessed and benefiting from leadership or guidance and Krishna consciousness, but sometimes it's worrying for the younger generations, people who have children who are trying to groom them into good citizens. I think it is a challenge, and for us, okay, we are elders, we have seen and done. But this is where the problem lies, I think.
And Krishna conscious, That's all. Then they become good citizens automatically.
Yes, that's the way forward. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Dear devotees, any more questions or comments? Maharaj, I don't see any questions. So shall we chant a round of japa? Maharaj, if it is okay with you,
What's that?
shall we chant a round of japa if it is okay with you?
Yeah. Get ready.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. So before that, I just want to announce tomorrow's class. Tomorrow's class is with Maharaj is going to give class to Bhakti Sangha Charlotte devotees, and verse is Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 5th chapter, verse number 22, 7-5-22. I request everyone to please join that class tomorrow. The time will be 20 minutes later than our regular time, 12:20 p.m. UK time. And I'll post the link in the groups later. Thank you so much.
Okay, ready? Jai Sri Krishna. Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Shri Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Yeah.
Jai. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Have an announcement after you make your announcement.
Yes, Maharaj. I already did.
Okay. For those of you who are interested, volume 2 of Daily Drops is now available. It's we have supplies, copies on hand in the UK. And we also, those who want to get a copy, you can order it through Amazon. So just contact Dinanath Gurunga. Everyone knows him. He's the one that hosts our program every Monday. So, and he'll arrange for you. If you live in the UK, you can probably get a copy directly from him. If you live outside, then there is, I'm not sure of the arrangements he's made, but you can get a copy either directly from Amazon or from him, one way or the other. It came out really nice. Mother Namrata did a beautiful job putting the book together. So her expert artistic qualities. It's so very nice. The cover is quite distinct and unique from the first version, volume 1, but it's very attractive.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Yeah, we look forward for the book, Maharaj.
I'm yet to see that, Guru Maharaj. I haven't seen the book practically.
You saw it when you did work on it.
The second copy of the printing, I was supposed to get it, but Dinanath Gauranga Prabhu said it's going to come on Friday. So I'm expecting he will send some of the pictures to me.
He wrote me today, it's already done.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it's already done.
Okay.
And I think, I'm not sure, but it's very soon available on Amazon. And then we'll have copies on hand for in the UK.
Sure, Guru Maharaj. Thank you. Thank you for this encouragement. Actually, it was really interesting to do this service. Thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you so much for coming online and participating in question answer session. Thank you, Maharaj, once again. So we'll end the call here. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripasindhu Vaishnavai Namo Namah. Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
His
Jai.
Holy Maharaj
Jai.
ki.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.